Well, hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a painting of a sailboat, a catamaran on the beach. Just a little one, and I think that it'll be, I don't know, pretty summer scene. I'm going to try and do this one as a wet on wet painting, similar to the one that I did last time, but with a few changes because I was curious about something. I'm going to do this one with a liquid clear on a white background, and I don't know, I can explain a little bit more about why I'm thinking about that as I go, but I want to see how it works. So let's get into it, I guess. And for my liquid clear today, I'm going to use safflower oil. I used walnut oil last time, and I like walnut oil just fine, but it takes a very long time to dry. So safflower is also kind of a lighter weight oil. It's still kind of slow drying, but maybe a little bit faster. So I want to try that one and see how I like it too. So I'm just going to put a little bit out in this little cup so it doesn't end up all over my palette to start. I'm just gonna go ahead and brush it on. And again, this is gonna be, the goal for this is gonna be a light coat, so I'm gonna brush it on and then I'm gonna wipe a bunch of it off too. Because see how it's dripping? We don't want it dripping while we're painting. I wasn't sure if I should just skip this part and do it before I started, but I feel like it might be nice to show what I'm doing as I explain it, so we'll find out. I think what I'd like to be able to do, there's a couple of things I've got in the works, but I'm trying to figure out kind of a method for doing kind of a wet on wet painting to start, and then being able to kind of just go into it and do a little bit more with the paint a little drier as I go, which, because I typically will paint these paintings just over a course of usually a few days, getting the timing right is a little bit, you know, it's a little bit of a tricky challenge, but it's okay. I don't mind it. Depending what you're doing, if you're painting, it might not really matter nearly so much. Most of us aren't painting on a deadline, so. And I'm not really painting on a deadline either. Just, you know, trying to do some stuff. Keep getting some nice videos out to you. So we'll see. Safflower, liquid clear on a whiteboard. That's number one. This is going nice and thin. Linseed oil works for this too, but it's a thicker oil. More of kind of, not really a honey consistency, but it gets closer to that, I guess. So it's not really ideal for this because we don't want a lot. We just want to get this all around. I'll just apply it. And I wipe most of it off. So nice and thin, so I like that. No, we'll find out. So I'm gonna not paint my boats right away. I'm gonna start by laying in a background first. I'm gonna start with a little bit of cobalt. I think mainly for my sky, maybe a little cobalt and a little bit of cypress blue. And I am gonna brush those in. Because again, I'm not looking to go very thick right away. Just mixing them up on the palette a little bit. And the oil just let it go on a little bit thinner. So that's interesting. I kind of want it to fade a little bit lighter as I go, so I'm going to kind of keep applying it from the top and then kind of working it down. That's the kind of sky I have, a nice bright summery sky. A little bit stripy. But sometimes that can be the trouble with thinner layers, is that they will tend to look a little, well, they'll show the brush strokes a little bit more, which actually sometimes I don't like. Sometimes I don't like it, sometimes I don't mind it. But I kind of like this one to settle out a little bit. I think that's about right. Follow this all the way down to wide here. And I'm going to lay in, let's say, I'm going to do the water in the background. I'm going to add to this blue that I've got here, I'm going to add a little bit of ultramarine too. Especially just right back here. It's like a little bit above halfway point. I'm not gonna tape this or anything. I'm just gonna put it in and trust. You can always neaten this up with a knife. But this is just a quick first layer to get things going. Some sand, and I think for my sand I'm going to use a little bit of yellow ochre and a little bit of titanium white. Note to self, order more yellow ochre. We can get down to the end of that one. Keep forgetting. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit of this unbleached titanium white. There we go. Actually, do I want to add that in yet? I'm wondering if maybe I don't. I'm going to do a little bit. Let's start a little further back. And I'm going to grab a knife just to start kind of working in this hillside a little bit that I see. I'll probably blend this in a little bit too. I'm going to use some raw umber, a little bit of alizarin, and a little bit of viridian green, and maybe some ultramarine as well. Kind of want to put in, this is going to like be a dark base for this. It doesn't necessarily have to be a full thing just yet. Let's see, on top of this, so it's a little slippery. It's good though, because you can get some different variety even just with one color going on. That's kind of nice. Let's start with that. Okay. And then I've got this water line The water and the sand are so pretty how they come together. Let's see. Away my lightest area is like right, some of the areas where the boats are, but also kind of right along the shore here. Just kind of taking some of this blue out to start. It's interesting. Okay. Try making up, like I said, a little yellow ochre. A little of this. Let's see, just gonna work it in. It's kind of nice. And I'm gonna do a slightly sort of redder version of that. There's some rocks out here that have like some water hitting them. It's kind of dark, but I'm just gonna kind of plop them in. This like kind of multiple colors coming toward me this way. I'm gonna take a little Sever's blue, a little bit of Meridian, and mix those together. I'm gonna start just working that in right about here where I see it. That's kind of neat. I can use the knife to kind of bring in more of a slightly wavy texture here. Just a tap of white into that too. Just to start bringing it up just a little bit. Let's see. I really like kind of following these different areas of water around. There's just so many different kind of colors overlapping each other. Different little bits of this and that. Okay. Gets a little bit more of a dark blue kind of flickering in here. And then I've got kind of a warmer, like sort of a purpley brown, maybe. I don't know, it's a little hard to identify. It's not too strong. It's still fairly blue. Put a little bit of, make it a little lighter. Just kind of putting this in. I think I'm gonna kind of brush over it and just sort of blend some of these colors. Again, it's all an experiment. If you want to copy what I'm doing, you definitely should. But I can't promise anything yet. So just looking at the water as I see it, and just trying to make some of those marks. I might switch to a smaller brush in a minute. I'm just gonna find it good to stick with a larger brush for a while. Just a little in there. Just a little oil with that too. Mix up some more paint. So I've got, let's see, got some light very light white sand back there. I'm gonna try actually just putting maybe just a little bit of this unbleached titanium right on there. Might even lighten it from there too. We'll just start there. Don't worry. The boat's real. It'll happen. Sometimes I really like to start with outlining the subject and getting it in and doing all of that. But sometimes I like to try things backwards or different. And because I'm keeping this first layer thin, I'm hoping that I won't have trouble kind of painting the boat in and over it. That does mean I've got to keep kind of brushing things out as I go. The edge of this wet sand has like just a little bit of a blue glow to it, so I'm trying to kind of mix that in here. Lots of variation too, though. That's maybe a little too red. I was thinking warmer, but it almost looks like a shark attack. Alright, let's see. Gonna go a little grayer there, but let's take the brush back in again. So I want to stick with this one. It feels a little bit ridiculous. I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. Let's go ahead and wash this one out. And just go ahead and do that too. Now, let's see, let's switch. Maybe I'll play with the dagger brush for a little bit. I do enjoy this brush for waves and water a lot. Trying to make some of these kind of smaller waves further back. Hoping that if I kind of get the waves feeling right before I add in the boats, I won't maybe have to do a lot of adjustment once they're in. I don't know, that's the theory anyway. I'm kind of cross-hatching across this area, sort of like an area of like wet sand that I'm seeing through. So I kind of want to blend these a little bit. little bit of this color is going to stick to my brush as I'm going, so I'm just kind of keeping aware of that, not moving from a area with a lot of something going on to less of that. But it just kind of, it's all one body of water too, so kind of trying to keep sort of generally horizontal marks too. Just feeling like these waves kind of rolling in against the shore. Here we go. Sort of starting to have the right look. Alright, and then just a little bit of paint on my brush. I'm just kind of scrubbing in this sort of grayer sand here. Decent start. Kind of like it, I think. Trying to find kind of that right amount of detail in this water further back. I'm going to put the knife to it as well, just probably thicken it up a bit, but too bad so far. Gonna step back. Okay. And I think the other thing I want to do, I'm just gonna take the brush to some of this as well. Switch back to knife and probably do the majority of the rest of it with a knife. I'm gonna decide on some birds to add in this. I took a little hiatus from my animal paintings, but it wasn't really on purpose. It's just kind of, you know, stuff happened. I think that's okay. All right. And I could stop there and it'd be a 20-something minute beach painting. But nah, there's more to do here. All right. I think I'm gonna let the scenery kind of chill for a little bit, and switch over My favorite knife for boats, so it's a good one. I'm gonna use titanium white. So I'm gonna try and mark this in by its shadows a little bit first, but there are also kind of some landmarks that I want to have kind of picked out before I go too far. So like that. It's one of the holes there. And then the other one is just a little above, a little back. It's going to start there. So that angle's a little low. I guess more like that. To about that. Just going to put it right in. The other one is going to end about here. There's some foreshortening on that. Okay. I need about that angle. That works. That's like the little bar across the deck, I guess it is. It's a cool boat. I've never been on one of these, but I've heard they're like really fast. Obviously they make like huge ones, but this is a fairly small one. Let's see. Keep blocking that in. Now I am mixing in to my previous paint a bit, but I'm gonna just, normally that bugs me, but I'm gonna just ignore it for now. Keep painting. And I think in a way this might actually let me build up the whites without having them be too bright right away. Like I am gonna want some very bright parts of this boat, but there's a lot of shadowed white as well. And it's going to take me a little bit to kind of get the layout of it, so we'll just keep going. And it's actually a blue shadow in here. I'm going to just grab some of that blue paint, push it right into place. I feel like the hulls are the part you really, if you're going to paint boats with knives, it's like that's the part you want to, I don't know, really try to get the forms right. Because if you do, like it'll pop into 3D kind of, but if you end up with it looking weird, well, you know, that's what you get. But honestly, they're like pretty charming no matter what, I think, personally. I'm kind of pressing the knife in to like mix this into the layer beneath it, so I'm kind of incorporating that oil layer into the paint. Getting everything kind of well mixed. Let's see, I've got a blue area, then I've got a dark area. I'll put that shadow in actually. I think it might help me lay out the rest of this. So, got this is annoying. I've got this like edge on the easel, and it kind of blocks me from being able to get my knife in exactly the right way here. So I pop that up even though it's a little precarious. Okay. Okay. And there's another dark shadow here. And there's kind of like a white edge. Something like that. I'm gonna kind of let that be there for now. And I think it's probably gonna take a couple of coats to get it really strong. A little bit more blue. Blue-white right in here. It's like a little puzzle. I just kind of like keep plugging it together, and eventually you have all the parts. They won't be perfect, but I can kind of refine them as we go. And there's a shadow this is actually the shadow from the sail. Kind of goes up like that. And I'll kind of like make that blend in with the water, but I'm gonna just let it be like that for now. Keep working on this white area here. Keep adding a little bit of oil to this white, especially because it's a very thick white. And I want it to go on kind of smooth. Not fight me too much. A little bit's okay. All right. The mast is going to come out of here. I'm just marking it for a second. And do the same thing here. Actually kind of angles up. Starting to see it. Alright, a little bit more of a dark edge under here. Sometimes it's kind of surprising how little you need, really. Like it starts to come together. Sometimes it'll just be like one edge or one shadow really makes it. It's like a dark shadow in the sand there. My mast is going to come up right about here. I'm going to take some nice strong ultramarine blue. I'm going to just start a little bit daringly. Just pop it right in. say that looks about right. It's actually cropped off on the picture, but I'm gonna keep it in frame for my painting. I think it works better that way. So I'll just drift this down here. Got this kind of on one side this sail is dark, and then on the other side it's light. So keep working in this dark side first. Let's get kind of a pointy corner there. That's nice. It kind of all blends that way. And I've got kind of a very light edge, and then a little round edge, and then it's much lighter, kind of toward the top. And some of the white into the Cypress blue mix that I have here. It's kind of a teal color. Just gonna bring this down here. About right. I can adjust it, but the closer I can get right away, the better. Maybe bring that down just a little more. I don't like how that edge is right above that hole there. Just make it a little different. Mix up a little bit more of that color. It's a little too green. I'm going to bring this brighter, but I'm going to go ahead and fill it in first. And maybe bring it up with some highlights. Oh, it's a little thick there, a little thick. Something I kind of overestimated. I think I needed less paint and I put down more paint. Alright, so trying to get kind of the right type of playful marks in this as well. I really like having a lot of lines floating across it. There we go. It's a little better. It's not quite right, but it's close. Alright. And there's another little boat back over here. It's more of like a, I don't know what kind that's called. Maybe some kind of pontoon boat, I guess. I don't know. Trying to sketch that in. Just make a nice white area to work into for that. It's really good. Put a little shadow on this one side. Put in a little mark for this motor here. A little upright and a little roof, and maybe a little dot for the safety vest that's on here. Start with that. It's not too bad. Okay. There's a couple of buoy for it. There's some other stuff. Let's see. Take this little filbert and I'm gonna kind of manicure a few things, I guess. Let's see. It's a nice quick way of like working. I kind of feel like I have a lot of painting done and not a lot of time. And it's like pretty well developed. But now I'm kind of like in this place where I feel like probably the right thing to do soon is going to be to give it a little rest. But yeah. Just try to make the paint look a little nicer before I do that, if that makes any sense. Get these little reflections on the water that are happening. Maybe I'll even do a little bit of a light highlight with that. A real test of this method and whether I like it and whether it's something that I want to do again will really depend on kind of how much of this current painting I end up painting over in an effort to kind of like fix it up. It's not bad. It's just there's like it might actually be like a very strong start. It just depends kind of how much of it I'm going to feel the need to sort of rework. Kind of nice. I think this little like brown reflection is pretty nice though. It's like just getting multiple colors on the brush and kind of working those through there. maybe it's one of those things, even if it ends up being a little bit more kind of loose and wonky. Sometimes it makes it kind of charming in a way. I don't know. I think charming's my word of the day. Figure out the right kind of marks for this area. It's like very glistening and glowy. I think like it's really close. Let's see. The other thing going over it with the brush is doing is it's kind of making it, it's letting me refine my edges a little bit. It's also going to make some of this paint thinner so that it does dry a little bit quicker. Give me something more to work into later. Let's see, it's pretty nice. Some of these marks are really amazing. Like, I feel like in terms of how things are blending, like I may not end up going over as much of this as I originally thought. Let's see, take a little bit more white, a little bit of this phthalo mix stuff. Just float some of this white in here and create this reflection. Trying to see what that does for me. There's also some little blue things here. It's going straight into this ultramarine. Just letting that blend in. feel like there's a point where it's gonna tell me that it's time to stop, and then I should let it rest. I keep being a little bit surprised that it hasn't happened already. But I guess maybe because I'm kind of floating things on with the brush now, I'm getting away with a little bit more. Right. Like that. Just a little bit more here. Some of this white will be really good to sort of add to later. Like, just get some of these little things to sparkle a little bit more, but it'll build on what I'm kind of blending in here too. Use a knife for that. There's a couple of little waves that are just kind of crashing in on the shore here. Try and get the right angles on them a little bit. Just have them kind of drift in. There we go. Sky feels thin to me though. I may end up repicking the sky. I do think having some white in it would have made it better in a way, maybe. I'm trying to see what I could do with kind of using the white of the board more. Which actually did help when it came to being able to put this shadow in for the sail. I'm just gonna even make that a little darker. If I had white on there first, it would have made it difficult to make this as dark as I wanted to. So, I don't know. Maybe nothing's ever. There's no perfect method ever. You always gotta be ready to adjust. There's like these little tiny waves. It's very subtle. It gets sort of darker right behind them. Some little blue sparkles too. It sounds like painting water for me is like a lot about kind of weaving different things together. You do a lot of cross hatching, a lot of overlapping colors. It's very relaxing painting though. I love paint. I think water may be the most relaxing thing to paint. For me anyway, everyone's different, but slightly bigger brush in here. Kind of soften this a little bit. That worked pretty well. Okay. A little risky, but I want to just try seeing if this kind of smooths out at all. If I go over it again. This looks a little bit grainy. Chance I repaint the sky. 80%. I would say right now. Okay. That's okay. It's still a good sky. It's still a good start to a sky. I think this might be in a good place to let it rest a bit. But yeah. Well, I'll be back in a few. Alright, and I'm back. So this is like still pretty wet. So I'm gonna just kind of continue working into it as a wet on wet painting. I'm not gonna worry about adding wax to this one. I think that for wax you really want the underlying paint to be dry, so I will just not do that on this. And I think that I'm gonna just keep on going with paint. I'm gonna start kind of like I do. I'm gonna go right back into the background on this. And I am gonna go over the sky again because I don't really like how it looks kind of like streaky and grainy. And I think, you know, that's something that if I had a white layer on it, it probably would have come out a little bit more even. So that's something to remember about that. Certain pigments will tend to do this a little bit more too, and so I think the cobalt blue might be one of those colors. So there might be workarounds, but I think the best thing for me to do now is just to put a fresh sky in here and then carry on. So I'm going to do that by mixing up a couple different blues. I'm going to keep it a little bit warmer. Actually, I think the phthalo that's there is fine. But I'm going to keep this more to a little bit of ultramarine and titanium and keep it just a little bit warmer and a little bit sort of flatter too. I think I like this gradient a little bit, but I think it's almost like too distracting right now. It's not the main focus of this, so I'm going to kind of quiet it down a little bit. Maybe the best way to think about it. So I'm gonna put some white. Usually get quite a bit more white. And it's probably the color that gets used the most. I was reading somewhere that maybe like 40% of most paintings is white. I don't know what that statistic came from. I think it came from a paint company, so they probably know based on what they sell. So take some white here. I'm gonna take some ultramarine, mix that in, and see how that looks to me. I think this will be a nice tone. Be a little closer to the horizon line. Almost. The ultramarine is a great color. It's blue, but it's a very warm blue. Like it's really almost close to a purple, which I like.
maybe I'll pop a little bit of this in this lowest part of the sky. Just kind of move up from there. I'll probably blend this in with a brush a bit too, but we'll just start here. This is a little messy. Just go right across. Again, it's still kind of wet into wet because I've got this first layer that I put down. Didn't really dry very much yet, so it's drier than it was when I was working on it the other day, though. I actually like that. That's a nice color, bringing that in. Just keep moving across this. It's going to be a little trickier to keep everything consistent now because I've got to kind of work around this sail, but that's okay. A little of this sky color actually hits the sail. It's not terribly bad because it kind of gives that impression of like a little highlight there. I'm going to try not to, but having done it accidentally, I can kind of see the benefit. So I even put a little of that there. Let's see what that does. Okay. So I'm gonna go up from there. I'm gonna go. Do I want to go? I do want to go a little toward cobalt, I think. So I'm gonna add some cobalt to this. I'm gonna kind of just keep working from this one pool of color. I go and keep adjusting it a little bit at a time. So I'm gonna go to this next one here. It's subtle. It's a little bit more blue. Same thing over here. Same idea. I think I can shift it probably a little bit more dramatically. Okay. And let's give kind of a bunch more cobalt. Hopefully that's not. That might have been overkill. Cobalt's not a very strong tinting color, so you kind of have to add more than you would if it's a different blue. Like phthalo blue, on the other hand, that much phthalo blue just completely overtakes the white. But cobalt, this is okay. It looks like a change at least now. Keep working this in. I think I like this slightly warmer look though. It's like a little bit quieter. I feel like I wanted the boat to stand out a little bit more in the foreground, and the two blues were really competing with each other a lot. A little streaky, but that's okay. In there. Go a little more cobalt. the impression of some clouds here. Probably smooth that all out. I was kind of thinking a kind of boring sky for this painting. Isn't one of my exciting sky paintings. So that's there. I'm actually gonna add a little Zephyr's blue. Just go just a little brighter. Not too much. In a way, I'm almost like not looking for this to change the color too much here. I really just want it to go on a bit thicker. I feel like skies, because of the way they light up, it's good if they have, I don't know, kind of a flatter appearance. At least that's just how I feel about them. Quiet stomach. Not for you. Yes, it's morning. Yes, I'm painting. Doesn't mean I need to hear about it. Okay. Okay. I don't like that. I think I don't like the texture quite as much, so I'm going to take, let's see, I want to go big brush or little brush to kind of tidy that up. Go medium brush maybe. Alright, so just going to kind of gently brush this down here. I'm going to go do like an X thing, but I just go across one way and kind of sweep across the other way. Start moving this into that. And go on both sides of the sail here, just let them be continuous, not like them being kind of like disjointed. Just being a little more careful down by the waterline. Kind of a cool texture. Actually, I don't know. I was tempted to blend it out more, but I'm actually kind of enjoying that. Just wipe my brush off a little bit and kind of make a little area up here that I didn't hit the first time. Kind of going over the edge of the sail here, because I'm gonna probably refine its shape a bit, but I'd rather have the sky nice and continuous first. Alright, that's kind of nice. Soften a little bit. Little blobs in there. Not a huge deal, but nice if we can snag them out sometimes. Okay. feel like the wind, these brush marks here. Trying to get them to be a little bit more organic, like less square looking, I guess, but I don't want to overwork it either though, so I think I'm gonna know when it's time. Here I want to do just a little softer, a little softer. There we go. Yeah, like that sky feels better to me. Alright. I got this weird little bit of sky color that I kind of just popped into here. I thought it would be kind of a nice way to start bringing in some different values here. Also creating like a little bit, just a little atmosphere. Just thinking about actually blending this waterline just a little too. Same idea. Kind of gives it a feeling like it goes off forever. Which actually it doesn't in my photo, but I don't care. I like the idea. I like the idea of that. Adventures to be had. Alright. Let's see. Alright. I think I'm gonna go, and again, I'm gonna just keep working from the background to the foreground. Give a little bit more attention to this set of trees. Maybe add a little bit of detailing for the beach. There's some other small boats and people kind of relaxing, and I don't know, I feel like it feels a little bit more populated than what I have right now, so might be good to get there. Yeah. So I'm gonna take this blue. I'm just gonna move it off to the side. Maybe use a different. Might not be the best knife for moving things. So let's try. So this is another option. Push it more in your direction. There we go. Trying to organize my palette. I'm thinking about this lately. It doesn't always work out, but if I keep colors similar to the colors that I made them from, it's kind of nice. And I don't need to clean that. It doesn't have to be that fussy. Back to my little round knife. And I'll take a little yellow ochre and a little viridian. And get some of that cadmium yellow light. I'm gonna bring might not even need the candle light, actually. I think that's probably overkill. Probably this little combo is gonna be great. And just adding a little bit of the safflower oil too, just to keep all this paint kind of nice and wet. Just moving that in. Be a little bit of this blue we already have. I'm actually gonna just bring this in here. Actually make this edge a little bit lighter. And a little more green too. I have a couple of colors kind of layered in here. It's got a little more form to it now. I'm gonna just take a little brush in there. Just work that a little bit more. And I like how it's mixing in, but it's not mixing as much as it would have if I had painted it the other day. So it's kind of gives a little bit more texture to these trees. I can even pop up some little brightly lit ones into the sky. Just feels a little bit more like there's something happening here. A little bit more atmosphere. There we go. And then I might even bring in a couple more dark spots too. So use a little alizarin, a little viridian. More viridian. Just gonna touch a few spots here, here. Sort of building it out of something is kind of gives it the best kind of combination of some variety, but not too much like detail. So it's really not about this group of trees at all. They're just part of the environment here. It's a pretty nice environment though. Okay. Like that. Now, add, I think there's a little bit more like yellow ochre, kind of a warm brown edge here. It's earthy though. Pop a little oil into that. Just gonna touch a few spots over on this beach. This is going on a little drier, but it's a little bit, kind of a little bit rougher too, so it sort of fits the dry sand, I think. Yeah, I'm really kind of going in and just looking at where do I need to enhance edges a little bit, and a little bit of unbleached titanium, and a little bit of regular titanium, just a touch of yellow ochre, I think. Just bring that in on the beach over here. Just get this really like much more sun bleached kind of sand. See, just picking it up and having it layer over that first area that was pretty light, but just sort of gives it more of a sunny look. So I really like doing my lights at the end like this. I don't know if we're really at the end, but later in the process. Feels better. Oops, get a little blue in there. Just kind of work that in. It's looking pretty good though. I like this texture a lot, and actually it did set up more than I expected it to. So this might actually not be not a bad method. Okay. So I've got that. Getting it a little bit closer. I'm realizing there's some like lines on the boat. I don't know if I'm gonna put those in. I feel like they're really dangerous. Dangerous for me to paint. Not dangerous to be on the boat. They probably really need to be on the boat. Let's see. Put in a little bit of ultramarine mixed with a little bit of the sky color. Just kind of create a little bit of a water line back here. Keep this a little streaky though. Having two colors is kind of nice. A little more with the ultramarine. Oops. I did scrape off my original layer too. Alright, I'll be a little more careful. Slightly tempted to change the color of the sail. Maybe yellow, maybe red, maybe orange. I like paintings with orange. I notice like my paintings that have orange in them get more views. I like orange. It's a perfectly good color. It's just a funny pattern to notice. It's starting to come together. It's just, yeah, having a little bit more control, even though the paint's not completely dry under this, just being able to put some smaller marks in. Just create a little bit of light, a little bit of contrast. If I made it orange. This side would be kind of like light peach. And this side might be, this is dark anyway. Might even stay kind of blue. Could be like orange blue. They are good colors together too. Oops. Oh, just got a bunch of paint on. That's okay. Washes off. Alright. So there we go. Let's make a color. Think about it a little bit. I'm gonna add some cad red light and some titanium white. Yeah, that'll stand out. The nice thing about going to orange with blue, orange and blue are complements, so this blue behind it will make it stand out, but it also can work as a shadow color for it, so we'll see. It's probably a little crazy, but I think it was just blending into the water too much. It wasn't feeling like enough of its own thing, so. Live a little, make it orange. Just take a little brush to it. It's okay to me if this gets a little bit less bright. I wanted it to do a good job of covering the blue or like working into it, but I didn't necessarily need it to be extremely strong. It's gonna look pretty strong no matter what, I think. So onto this brush, it's a little smoother. And then I think for the sort of more shaded area of this, I'm going to go a little bit more toward like an alizarin Put a little blue into that as well. Let's see. Yeah, I'll try that. This. Oops, wasn't the brush I wanted to use. Yeah. No, it's a little too scratchy for this part. Even go a little darker up here. Well, that's exciting. It's a little better, I think. Okay. I'll do a little bit more with that, but I think that's a setup. In any case, do a little yellow into this. I'm really kind of just imagining how this might be, and making this side a little lighter and even a little warmer. Just imagining it's catching a lot of extra light off the water. This piece actually comes down here. This on fairly thick here too. So I want it to stand out and kind of stand up against the other paint that's under it. Yeah, alright. I like my orange sail. Okay, so I think I'm going to start working on the hull of this boat a little bit more too. The nice thing is I've really got a good structure here. So I can just kind of keep working into it. So moving a little titanium white. I'm not going to mix a really clean white for this yet because I think it's going to look a little strong if I do. So I'm mixing in a little yellow ochre, a little bit of whatever was on the palette here. I'm just going to start putting in this line a little bit stronger. Add just a little oil to that too, just so it flows. Just start. Get this edge here is a little funny. It was just a little crooked, and I was making it look like this side was a little messed up. Okay. And already that's looking a little bit more solid. Got the shadow back here. I'm not going to worry about that yet. Start just putting in some of these little light sections. Okay, here I've got, this is probably the brightest area. I'm going to add some more white into that. Picked up a little orange. Maybe that's fine because it's going to reflect from the sail. That's perfect, actually. Even though I put that in as a white, but I went in more wet at the time, so it mixed in with the previous colors, and now it's giving me more to work with. I kind of define it better. I'm gonna take this little brush I've been using to blend, just blend this edge in a little bit more. And there, a little more of that bright, a little more white in there. A little darker. Go. It's a little too dark there. Or rather, it should be darker. Okay. Just kind of moving around, looking at different spots on the hull, and I'm trying to get the different whites in that I see. There's like a red line. I'm gonna make it kind of match my sail colors though. So, I'm going into the white, so it's not gonna go on too strong. It's kind of good. I think if it was too sharp right here, it would actually be a little bit distracting. So that's fine. Except I didn't really want that to go into the water there. Oops, nope, that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna go in over that. Maybe that's the reflection of it. Put a little bit more in. And see. Just a couple of edges here. Take a little bit of white. I want to go right up to that edge. Just help that be a little bit better defined. Get an impression of being able to slice through the water. As I do this, I actually start noticing that I could probably even go brighter on the sail. The funny thing is, you start bringing up the contrast, you realize how much room there is to do more. Alright, that's a little bit of a tough spot to get. Just trying to build that up. Strong there. Maybe this little one. There we go. A good knife actually for getting some of these smaller shapes in that I'm seeing. it does help. It's nice to, you can see the structure, you kind of see how it pulls together. Let's see. Some of them are really hard to see. I'm only seeing like the beginnings and the ends of some of these. We'll just do our best with them. Try and mix in a little oil just to get it to go. See, this little edge here is light. Just to give it just a bit more form. There we go. Okay. That looks like it ties to something around here. And there's another bright line. Pretty good. Get a couple of dark, sort of shadowy details on here too. Just using the ultramarine blue for that. I can get in here with this knife now. Give that darker shadow. I couldn't quite get earlier. So just go a little bit more blue to this alizarin mix. Go more of a purple. Steady. That's preferably. Nice thing about knife painting, I think, is like sometimes you don't have to be perfect. You're never going to be perfect anyway, so you don't have to try. No, that's not, I don't know if that's quite right. It's more like there's always going to be sort of a limit to how much detail you can put in, so you really try to focus on what really matters and not worry too much about everything else, which is good. It's good to have sort of an understanding that you can be finished at a certain point. There we go. this one is a little further back. I'm putting just a little more yellow ochre into it. I'm going to just put those lightest areas onto this boat. This one doesn't have to have as much detail by any means, but I do want it to have a little more. Good. A couple of these light shapes in there. And then maybe try and make it nice and dark for some undertones over here too. And even with this, I'm like not even really trying to identify too much of what's going on here. I'm really just looking at big shapes and seeing what I can do. I think it's fairly decent. And bring in some more of these wave shapes. Areas where I see it more of like a dark shadow. Try and bring those in. This knife's actually really nice for making wave shapes. Just kind of give it a little twist. Okay. That's pretty good. Maybe a little. Yeah, just kind of layering in the lighter things and the darker things. I've got some nice smooth things happening, but now I can put in a little bit of sparkle, I guess. A little of that sky blue, a little bit of this yellow ochre titanium mix, just sort of put in a couple more little wave sparkles. I don't know. It's probably a technical term for wave sparkles, but that's what I'm calling them. I think right up to here, even go a little brighter with that. And a couple of different colors on my knife here. This is gonna start bringing that bright side of the boat as a reflection. Go kind of straight down from that. That looks pretty good. And then just softening this a little bit here. Just kind of these like X shapes. I'm just kind of bringing those in. It's coming along. So it's a little quieter back here. I can probably put in sort of a, it's not quite a highlight, but it's just a little bit more blue-green, a little Sevres blue, and a little bit more white than I had in here before. Probably put in just a little bit, kind of sparkling through here. Touch this edge up a little bit. There we go. Coming along. Able to get sort of brighter colors and lighter colors this way. They're building it up. A little bit. Just trying to find the different colors I'm seeing in here. And get them in. Okay. Alright, a little bit lighter. Go a little more ochre, maybe even a little green. Right around here, there's like this sort of different color coming into the reflection. I don't have to be too accurate with the shapes here, as long as I get like the right colors in the right place. It really just will make it pretty luminous, I think. That's what I'm going for anyway. And then here, got this little sort of wet beach area that's reflecting a bit differently. Kind of the same idea And going back in here. There we go. All right. A bit more of the sail here. This is really the shadow of the sail. Actually, it doesn't have quite as much variation of as the rest of the water. A little bit, but not too much. A little bit more of this like saturated sparkle here. Okay. It's looking good. I'm liking that feel. It definitely has more of like an impressionist feel to it now. Which I was kind of hoping to get there, but I wasn't quite sure where the route would take me. So just keep putting in. I think this ultramarine's working really well. Like just to make these little waves back here. I like how the sky is just kind of merging with the water, though. It doesn't like stop. There's not like a hard edge there. Okay. Just a little bit of white. Pop that onto these breaking waves. Like build them up just a little bit more. I'm not sure. I'm like trying to think about how I want to handle this foreground sand. It might not need anything. It might be fine. It's a little bit quiet. It's almost like a little bit of blue that I could bring in though. And I'm tempted to. I'm gonna try it. It's like just like a little something. Let's see. I'm actually gonna take this blue that I've been using for the sky. I'm gonna make a sort of in-between blue sand color just because I want this to, yeah, maybe if I go a little bit of this titanium that I know I used to make this, and maybe like a little bit more yellow ochre. just, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. It's like this wet, it's like this little wet edge between the really wet sand and the drier sand. It's just like slightly blue. It's like almost like a color that's not really there, but it is at the same time. I'm just gonna streak it in here actually. Look at that. Like that. Just gonna soften it with this brush a little bit. There's like these little areas where you can see like the tide coming back out, almost like it's not like consistent all along this edge though. It's like just a little bit. I don't love the scruffy brush marks up front. Just a thought. Just a thought, really. Yeah, just kind of reflects. Yeah, okay. Like that. It's close, I think. I like the feel of it. I think. Let's see. Use this purple that I made for the sail. I want to just kind of work it in here along this edge still. I feel like there's this sort of mix of different colors happening here. Try that out. I love this like wet sand painting. It's like almost as good as water painting. Water painting's fun. Okay. It's tricky though. I do like this though. Okay, so almost there could be a little bit more of this. I see a little bit right behind these waves. Which kind of makes sense. This is where the water's sort of drawing back out. Maybe a little bit even before these waves. Getting a little bit white in here. Just lifting up a little bit. A little bit of an extra shimmer. There's just a little bit more that this boat needs, and then maybe it'll be just about set. It's like maybe just a couple of these little shadows. It's not so much about like even making the details of like anything functional, but just having this separate form kind of feel, I don't know, different than the natural things around it. I think those are important. It's probably what's keeping it from floating out to sea right now. So. Put them. Let's see. A little bit more onto the sail. Some really fiery orange yellow colors. Alrighty. Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna leave this one here. Yeah, I just need to sign it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this and I hope you have a wonderful day or night or whatever you're off to next.